Hello everybody, welcome back to Being the Odds. It is Saturday, October 26, 2024. We are back with our college football best bets of the day. If you're the channel, my name is Zach and welcome to Being the Odds. Let's recap yesterday's results. So yesterday went 3-0, baby. Members only best bet, Boston College plus 7.5. That was basically free money. It was basically a no sweat bet at the end. Louisville put a little bit of fear into me, but even so, we got the win. Boise State minus 3.5. What a game, what a win. And USC minus 13.5. I don't understand why no one listens to me on that in particular. Got a lot of hate from that yesterday. Rutgers, Vegas laid the trap for y'all, and we did not go into it. We had USC minus 13.5, easy dub last night. Overall for the year, 79-53, 35-21 on best bets. Having a fan-fucking-tastic college football season this year. And we have a great slate today in college football. I have 5 plays for you guys, including some of the marquee matchups on the video today. But we have 6 members-only best bets you can get for college football, 2 other members-only best bets, also 8 members-only best bets in total day for $65. You can go to zdmbets.com/picks. The website is linked in the pinned comment below. Become a member, keep winning, because we have been on freaking fire recently with members-only plays, especially in college football and the NFL. But let's jump into the plays that we have today. So let's jump into our first college football play on the channel today, which is going to be Texas minus 16.5 versus Vanderbilt. This is a bounce-back spot for Texas, obviously, after what happened to them last week with Georgia. By the way, we had Georgia plus 5.5 in that game. The public is all over Vanderbilt today, too, which is just because it's a good story, because everyone loves Diego Pavia, and everyone loves this Vanderbilt team. And by the way, I love them, too. It's fantastic to see what they did at Alabama. Diego Pavia has been awesome since he was in New Mexico State, not just in Vanderbilt. And I bet a lot of money on him when he was on New Mexico State. But this is a Texas bounce-back spot. They looked way better in the second half against Georgia than they did in the first half. Well, we had Georgia in that game, plus 5.5, easy dub, never a doubt. But they looked a lot better against Georgia, and Georgia's punched them in the mouth. And the difference in this game is that Texas's line is just way better. Texas' offensive and defensive lines will dominate Vanderbilt. And if that happens, Texas will win this game by 21 points, because the fact is that their defense is fast. And what you have to be against Diego Pavia is you've got to be a fast defense, especially given the fact that he is a lightning bolt out there. And on top of that, Texas offense is big, nasty, and fast. Quinn Ewers is going to look a lot better. I wouldn't be surprised if Arch Manning is playing in the middle of the third quarter because of how far they're up. Give me Texas minus 16.5 versus Vanderbilt today. This is the sharp side without question. Next, we're going with Alabama minus 15.5 versus Missouri. Listen, when I first saw this line, this was so obvious to me to bet Missouri, take them on the 15.5. But here's the situation. Brady Cook was in a boot in the walkthrough yesterday. He's not gonna play. And by the way, he might play. I'm not saying he won't play like a snap or two. There's no way he plays past 1 or 2 series at most, because if he's in a boot yesterday and he's gonna go against this Alabama defense in Alabama, in Tuscaloosa, I just don't see how he survives. I think he might actually get murdered. He might be in the hospital by middle of by the start of the second quarter. He might physically be in the hospital because of Alabama. And whenever the public loves a big underdog, because the public right now is just in love with Missouri, you always go with the favorite. This specifically reminds me of when Alabama and Arkansas played in 2021. I know this is a very random game, but Arkansas was looking great with KJ Jefferson. They just beat Texas A&M, and they were somehow 17-point dogs to Bama. And everyone and their mother was on Arkansas, and Alabama just smoked them. And that was when I learned you always bet the favorite when the public loves a big underdog. And Bama at home is going to get them. And this could be a good right spot for them when they blow out a ranked team. They're going to be very, very engaged given the fact that it is a ranked team. And Missouri's defense as well is really, 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 really bad. Really bad. I don't even know how. They should not be looking at as a D1 defense. This team is a high school type defense, and Bama's at home. Jalen Milroe is the best running back in the SEC. You heard me correctly, and he can throw. I heard that from I think it was Kirk Herbstreit when he played against Georgia. He's a dog, and if Alabama can limit Luther Burden, the wide receiver for Missouri, they should win this game by 21, 24 points. Especially if Brady Cook gets out by the middle of the first quarter is what I'm expecting him to do. So give me Bama minus 15.5 versus Missouri here today. Next, we're going with Notre Dame minus 13.5 versus Navy. The public is all over Navy, very similar to Vanderbilt. It's a very, very good story. I love Navy. I grew up 45 minutes from Annapolis. Like, I grew up in Northern Virginia. And the thing is, and everyone loves Navy up there, and so do I. But the problem is that Navy really hasn't played anybody other than like Memphis. And Notre Dame is going to murder Navy. And I mean murder them. And I don't like saying it. I really don't, because I really have an affinity towards Navy. My whole family is Air Force and Navy, so like it's a big deal. But the fact is that the lines for Notre Dame are going to dominate, very similar to what Texas is going to do at Vanderbilt. And Notre Dame plays Navy and Army every single year. They're used to dealing with the triple option, which most teams are not. And Riley Leonard should have his way with this front seven of Navy, because if the lines dominate, which I expect Notre Dame to do, Riley Leonard, who he's had trouble throwing the ball this year, should be able to run it down their throat. And I think this game is a game where Navy loses. I think Notre Dame wins like, I don't know, 35-17 or something like that. It's like a 17, 18 point game. Give me Notre Dame minus 13.5 versus Navy here today. Next, we're going to go with Kansas plus 10.5 versus Kansas State. I think this rivalry game is going to be really close. Kansas Super Bowl. This is Kansas Super Bowl given how far their season has gone. Just completely disappointing. But if they win this game, all can be forgiven in Kansas. And Jadon Daniels is still good for Kansas. Like, I still think he's good. The sharp money is heavy on Kansas today. Plus, I get 10.5 points, which is huge. This could be a look-ahead spot for Kansas State, even though it is. I know I understand it's a rivalry game, but Kansas kind of sucks right now. I think that Kansas keeps this game close. Kansas State will win this game, but it's going to be closer than people think. I think it's like a 6-7 point game. Give me Kansas plus 10.5 versus K-State today. And then this next one is going to be an ugly-ass pick. Like, I'm just going to tell you all right now, this game is stinky. This is ugly. This is horrible. But we have to bet it because it's the system, baby. So we're going with UCF minus 2.5 versus BYU. This is a disgusting play. And I mean disgusting. This is a system play, though. Whenever an unranked team is favored versus a ranked team, you bet the unranked team. That is what you do. Like, it's like you have to do it blindly. And today I really got to do it blindly because UCF does not look good with KJ Jefferson running the show. They do not. But this is very similar when I bet the Bulls yesterday. I told you all the Bulls. It was a disgusting play, plus 9.5 versus the Bucks, and the Bulls won outright. But I think UCF is going to win this game. I don't have any stats to back it up. I don't have any like breakdown matchups. KJ Jefferson hasn't looked good at all. The only thing I will say is number one is BYU it has to go on the road. They have to travel across the country, and they've looked worse on the road than they have at home this year. They still look good. There's a total vibes play because I think UCF, this is the bit of their Super Bowl. And like I said, there's a system play. And guess what? When you have a system, you go with it. You don't go off of it. So give me UCF minus 2.5 versus BYU. Game scares the hell out of me, but I really, really do like UCF today minus 2.5 versus BYU. Now, I might be adding a pick or two a little bit later. If I do, I'll post it on my Twitter. Members, you'll obviously have those sent to you as well. And by the way, for those of you guys who only have YouTube, I'll be posting that as well in the pinned comment below. And we also have at least 8 members-only best bets today. You can go to the zdmbets.com/picks. Website is linked in the comments below. As a member, you get all our members-only best bets every single day, which was profitable best bets on a day-to-day basis. On top of that, you have a direct line to me, so any game you're considering betting, reach out to our hotline number, get a guaranteed response back with any game you're considering betting. And you get our free picks too on YouTube 17 before these videos come out. That take advantage of early lines, early odds. The website, zdmbets.com/picks, zdmbets.com/picks, zdmbets.com/picks. So guys, let's go lock in those picks. Let's go win together. Now let's go make some money. I'll see you all tomorrow.